All right. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I hope you had a good weekend and your week is pretty decent at this point. I want to take today to talk about the Supreme Court rulings. For those of us who eat, breathe, and sleep politics, at the end of June is when we get a lot of rulings on controversial cases, and they usually do them right before we all break for the holiday because then they wrap up. So this court has continued to perplex me over time, given just so many so many things, um, including last week where Haitians TSP status was revoked when Justice Amy Coney Barrett has Haitian children. I, yeah, perplexed. And then on Monday, though, we had a decent day, at least on the Democratic side, where democracy was upheld. So for one, um, you have to use like there has to be real discretion and um real consideration for purging voters from the rolls, because what we've seen particularly in southern states is that black voters get purged from the voter rolls without them knowing. And then it creates all this chaos and hysteria of trying to figure out if you're still registered and what you need to do to not be purged from the voter rolls. So that was good that we at least need to review that. Also, ballots that are mailed in and are postmarked before election day get to count even after election day, which has been the case. And you talk about I don't understand how you keep screaming voter fraud when you won before. You won in 2024. So like, are you telling on yourself? Because this is just I can't. So thank you. The voters I got my vote in on time. And then shout out to E. Jean Carroll. She's getting her money, which is really good. She run her coins, as the kids say. And then lastly, Lisa Cook. She keeps her job. Stop. Like, I'm at least glad with the rulings on Monday that we saw justice for women and justice for voters, because what is going on is ridiculous. We all know it's ridiculous, but this is just this it was to another level. Now, yesterday we also saw something where birthright citizenship is being upheld. What an amazing victory, because it's just to the core of our democracy. And we want to talk about the Constitution, which we all know is a document that needs to be amended in so many ways. Most countries have amended their constitutions at this point, and we're at 250 years this Saturday and still haven't done so. And what's fascinating is they really thought that we were going to get rid of birthright citizenship. There was no world where I felt like a little sick thinking about it. But then I was like, no, there's just no way. Like, it's just like, that's crazy. And look, a lot of stuff is crazy. We're going to talk about the crazy stuff, but that is just like, it's a little too far. So I'm glad that they upheld that. And that is a victory for those that are born on American soil are Americans, period. And then let's talk about some of the negatives. We have the campaign finance ruling. So I work in Democratic politics. This impacts me a lot, right? Because when I work on campaigns, one of the biggest challenges I deal with is quality candidates trying to raise money. I was on the phone today with a client. She's getting endorsements, but people don't have money, and we need her to have money to really run this race. And it's been frustrating. And she is doing her best to raise, but once again, we're met with some challenges. I think she still will prevail. It just makes it harder, right? Like money, it's money. Like, why wouldn't you want money to help you with your campaign? Now, what happens here is, so basically, like, before there was at least some limitations on the coordination of committees, party committees, so Democratic, Republican party committees, and what campaigns could receive from them. And so that was a safeguard to keep corruption out, because we already have been dealing with like this slow, um, these increments of our campaign finance laws have just like gone down, right? Like, so the hard part here now is that you can have the super wealthy can influence and give as much money as they want to these party committees that can then do what they need to do and coordinate with campaigns in a way that they were not legally able to do so before. Democrats traditionally have been able to raise more money from grassroots donors, people like me and you, who aren't the super wealthy, that want to support my friend, like I'm telling you all about, want to give her $50. We have seen more progress with that. And you definitely saw it through Barack Obama and Bernie Sanders and AOC. Like, we're seeing that movement more now with people who are receiving more small dollar donations. That's what we call it. So with this, it just allows more of the big money to influence the outcome of elections. And we know that most corporations, those with big money, tend to trend Republican, because before the MAGA world, they were more fiscally conservative, allowed more tax cuts and breaks for the excuse me, tax breaks for corporations. And so there's always been there's been a vested interest for most corporations, not all. You have good ones, shout out Costco, who are who lean Republican. So we're just going to see this shift, where, again, this is tinkering down. So I think we'll see a lot more conversations around that ruling over the next couple of weeks. So, and then I think, talking a little bit about what happened last week with the Haitian immigrants with temporary protected status. It's just, I hope I said that right. TPS. I just I think it's just inhumane, and I get frustrated because you say that you're the party of faith, and then you're okay sending people to countries like Haiti and Syria, who are escaping poverty and crime. I know Jesus would not approve. Like, I can't. So it's been an interesting couple of days. And, I always go back to the fact that, God, we could have prevented the Supreme Court nightmare in so many ways. There's so many ways to walk that back. And, like, one day when I figure out how to mount my whiteboard, I will do some whiteboarding for you all, so we can just go through how we got here and how we need to teach Gen Z and Gen Alpha and Gen Beta to not be here when they're my age, because it's it's something else. So that's the rulings I wanted to dive into today. I know there's some that I'm leaving out. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time because it's just been very frustrating. But I think, I'd love to hear from you all, get the conversation going, or about how you feel about all of this. I am really glad, though, that we upheld birthright citizenship. Really am really glad that Lisa Cook keeps her job. Really glad that voters are continuing to be protected. So we're going to take a break for the holiday, but I'll see you all back mid-July, and look forward to having more conversations with you. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.